Guys, so I am going to get back on track with filming or movie reviews because American Horror Story's over, and I know that I used to do segments and stuff. Let me just turn that off. And I think I'll still continue to do segments. They won't be contained though to just 1 month. I don't know, I'm still working out the kinks, but for now I thought I'd go ahead and review some movies that I've seen recently. And yeah, because I've been still watching horror movies, obviously. I'm a horror freak, so I have been watching them. So today we're going to talk about Devil's Pass, and this is one that caught my interest on Netflix. It is on Netflix. That's one of the segments I was thinking about doing as a Netflix series where I talk about maybe my favorites on Netflix or just do a series of movies that you can find on Netflix because I highly recommend investing in Netflix. So Devil's Pass is about a group of college students who are making a documentary following this group of hikers at the Dyatlov Pass, which is in Russia. I believe Ukraine, Russia, I forget exactly which, but they're following these hikers that were found murdered or killed or dead in this Dyatlov Pass. So basically they're just following in their footsteps, they're following their trail and exactly where they died, and they get to the point where they die. It's not necessarily like teen-y, if that makes sense, but it is like college student-y, so I liked the drama in it. I'm just a sucker for good teen horror, but this was like college student horror, but it was still kind of similar to that whole teen horror type genre. One of my guilty pleasure genres. So if you're into that, I recommend this movie. Now, okay, after this movie ended, I was like, that was shitty. And I'm not gonna lie, I really did think that. But given time, like I saw this a couple weeks ago, and now it's something that I want to watch again because the ending was unbelievable. I think that they had too many ideas going at once for what they wanted it to be, and the beginning was really boring, so they tried to pack all their ideas into the second half of the movie, and I think that's where they went wrong mostly. This is like an independent movie. It's not very well known. It came out last year. I didn't hear anybody talking about it. I didn't see trailers for it or anything. Obviously, it wasn't very popular. So it is kind of like an indie movie, but I think it fits the stereotype of an indie movie, given that it's not the best directed, it's not the best written. However, it was highly entertaining in my opinion, and I really, really enjoyed it towards the end, even though their ideas were so large that I think that they couldn't really handle it. I don't know, they couldn't contain it. I don't think it went off as well as they thought it might have. Given that, it has a sci-fi aspect to it, so if you're into sci-fi horror like Aliens or anything like that, you would probably really enjoy this movie, at least the plot of it. But remember that it is kind of like an indie movie. It's not the best movie in the world, but I found it to be really entertaining, and I was like on the edge of my seat, and I had stuff to do, but I was like, I have to finish this this movie. It was just really good once it got going. It just takes a while to get up to the main plot of it, but the ending was amazing and unexpected, although some people might find it predictable, because once it happened I was like, oh, I could have seen that coming. I didn't, but you know, I kind of thought that it might be so much of a twist that it's almost predictable in a way. But I would recommend it if you have Netflix, or even if you don't, just trying to find it online or something, or renting it, because it was actually pretty good. And I mean, first glance wasn't good at all, but when you think about the ideas within it, it was really awesome. They didn't have the best special effects though, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really like the special effects in it. They looked really, really fake and computer animated, and which is fine that people, you know, do use computer animation. It's so much easier, but at least make it look a little believable. Like, this didn't look believable at all, which took away from the scare factor a lot, because it just was so in-your-face fake that it was hard to really feel the characters and like feel the scariness of them. So I'm gonna go into a little bit of the plot towards the middle and end of the movie, so it might be considered a spoiler. I'm gonna try not to spoil the twist or anything at the end, because I think you really need to go in not knowing that, because if I knew that, I probably, I don't know, wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, because the twist was something that kind of like blew my mind. So Basically, there were these 9 hikers that had died, and so these students are going to find out what happened to them because it's still a mystery. And then they come across this weird door, and it's full of radiation. They're in an area that has so much radiation, but they're not telling their friends. So it's the main documentary girl and one of her friends, and they're not telling anybody that they found this door. And so then all of a sudden one of their friends gets injured because there's an avalanche, and one of their friends ends up dying in the avalanche. So then all of a sudden, you know, his leg is broken and they have to make a tourniquet and like fix his leg. As they're doing so, all of a sudden there are these 2 Russian guys coming towards them, and then at first the main character's like, hey, over here, you know, we need help, our friend's hurt. And then all of a sudden the other guy is like, wait, where'd they come from? There's no like car or anything, so that's not good. And then all of a sudden they pull out their guns and they start shooting at them. So then you get an idea that it's the government conspiracy trying to hide something, and that's where it gets really interesting because they still have that mystery door. So they run to the door. A few people of their crew, of their group of friends, die by being shot, and then they end up inside the door. That is where shit goes down. Oh my gosh, it was crazy what happens inside there, and it was pretty cool, and the ending was kind of awesome, except I thought some of the parts were a little bit cheesy. So some of them kind of made me laugh, but you know, overall I would recommend this movie for just like a light entertaining movie that's not super scary, I don't think, but it still has that aspect of like in the wilderness. It's full of snow, and having that teen horror vibe to it was pretty cool. So if that's something that you're normally in, oh, and the sci-fi aspect too, was pretty cool. So, and I normally don't like sci-fi movies except for like The Thing's really good. That's kind of more less sci-fi, but you know, Alien-esque. And then Alien, of course, one of my favorite series of all time. My cat wants out. Can you hear that? Okay, I'm gonna let you out. So definitely check it out. I'll have the trailer listed down below if you're curious about it. I think I did watch the trailer beforehand. I don't really remember the trailer much though. So definitely check it out. It's pretty interesting. I just thought I would mention it in case you guys haven't heard of it yet or anything, because I hadn't heard of it or anything, except I saw it on Netflix. The cover is not enticing at all, and the cover has nothing to do with what happens in the movie. It's like this girl who's like hunched over. I don't know. It's a weird cover for the movie, but I read the description and it sounded pretty cool. So if you know of any movies that are kind of like that, it is kind of in the found footage style, you should know. It's not, I mean, it is, but it's not. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like Cloverfield or Paranormal Activity or anything like that. It's a little bit more well done, in my opinion, than Cloverfield. I don't think it would make you nauseous if you're easily like motion sickness affected. So if that's one of your concerns, I wouldn't worry about it. That's all I have to say about this film. Definitely check it out. Definitely watch the trailer, and feel free to start requesting some more movies. I'm not really set on a segment or anything, so I'm just going to be checking out movies that you guys recommend and reviewing them. So please leave movie recommendations down below, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.